Thank you. It's just my first time in Ukraine, so I don't speak your language. Sorry, excuse me. Just English, French, or Italian. I'm Stéphane. Hello, PyCon. How are you? That's the first time. How to say? I'm just Stéphane. I come from Belgium, in the west of Europe, of course. I think that you know where is this country. Yes, I love to travel around the world with, to see different PyCons, and I love to meet the community, the Python community, since some years. Yeah, that's very funny. I'm the creator of Python for Them. It's just a small conference in Belgium. We are 600 people, and for this year, 800 people in one room for one day. I'm also a CPython contributor. I'm not a core developer of CPython, just a contributor. I'm also a fellow member of the Python Software Foundation, just because I've created the Python FOSDEM event, and because I try to make the marketing stuff for the PSF and some T-shirt with the dates of the several conferences around the world. And of course, I'm a member of the EuroPython Society. Just that. For the rest, it's just blah, 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 blah. You know? Okay. I don't like this screen, but it's a requirement. Okay. How to contribute to Python? Who is a developer here? Who is not a developer? Nobody? Okay. So, when you contribute to Python, we can contribute with code. Of course, if you are a code developer, that's really easy. If you are not a coder, you can try with the documentation. If you are not a document lecturer or whatever, you can try to help Python with a conference like this one. Or you can try to make some T-shirt or some other stuff. But firstly, we will start with the code. The first thing is about Python. Once upon a time, I'm going to explain a little story. There was a bunch of happy developers. Okay. They've developed a new language. Which one? Perl? Ruby? No, Python, of course. So, nice. We are here only for Python, not for another language. Golang is not here, Perl not. But when you want to contribute to Python, there is a little problem. It's just the tracker, the issue tracker. Why? Because the issue tracker will only use the patches for the contributions. Okay? Here's the face of the issue tracker. It's a little bit ugly. But it's fine tracker because it's a good tracker. Because we have all the issues, we can see them, and we can discuss about an issue in this tracker. But everything is done just with patches. And for a new contributor, it's very boring. Why? Because we have to provide for one issue one or a lot of patches. And with these patches, we don't have any information about the author. Yes, in this case, it's just me. Okay, matrices. We have the date, but we don't have the comment with this about this patch, why we did this patch, and a lot of stuff. And that's very boring for the developer. Okay? With the issue tracker, we have the review with readbuild. Readbuild is very sexy. We like readbuild. No, just kidding, it's a joke. Okay? Readbuild is just a review tool from Google, developed by one person or a team. And we can see it's just an interface for computer science. It's very square, there's no color, there's nothing, just that. Okay? And we want to make a review, we only have this div. I like the color. The life is just the color. It's not the case for readbuild. The problem with readbuild is just we use a custom fork of readbuild, just maintained by one person, It's not really sexy. In fact, this tool is not really useful for us. Yeah, when you want to start to contribute to Python, the first step is just you have to create an issue, you have to create a fix, and wait for a review with rebuild. And when you see that, no, it's not possible. Yes, it's possible. Yeah, okay. The typical workflow. Who wants to become a contributor of CPython? Nobody? Okay, bye. So, for a simple contributor, when you want to contribute, already said before, you have to create an account on the bug tracker. Create an issue, open this issue, add the documentation, just a description, create a patch or fix. If you want to improve the documentation, that will be just a patch. And upload the patch. It's just a file. You will upload the patch to the website. And that's very boring. Why? Because there's no, we cannot comment the patch, just the discussion. For a core developer, it's not really easy. We have to download the patch, find the right version of your version of Python. For example, you wrote a patch for Python 2.7, and we are working on Python 3.7. We don't know that because there is no revision in the diff. So we have to fix the conflict, try to run the test suite manually, because there is no tool for that, except that for the buildbots, where buildbots will build the release only for the stable version. Commit to the maintenance branch and the stable branch. And for the rest, we have to do the backport. And of course, commit and push. Okay? About the patch, we only have some information, just the code, nothing else. We have the date and maybe the author, not of the patch. In this case, we don't know the author, there is no description, and what's the reference of the revision. We don't have that. About the continuous integration, you know, blah, 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 blah. That's the same thing. So we will check with the buildbot if there is an error or not. We will see if there is some bugs on Windows, and if the build is just green, we will write the backport. Okay? So that's not really. I don't like this workflow. Sorry. So about the status. Currently, if you want to contribute to Python in the past, you have to download the source code from Mercurial, use a patch, store them just on the bug tracker, use a custom version of readville for the review, and it's just a very complex workflow. So, what is a movie? You know this guy, it's a king. Yeah, it's a king, and this one. No, I don't want that you pass. I would like to pass. No, I don't want. Your patch is just boring. Okay, but we have a problem. There's God. And God wants to contribute. Oh, I would like to contribute, but the workflow is just too complex. It's not my problem. Yes, but how? How can we? It's very simple. Yeah. How can we do that? We have a solution. A very big solution. Bye-bye, Mercurial. Welcome to Git and GitHub. Wow. That's funny, very funny for you, but for us, no. Why? Because I didn't do the job. It's some other core developers, they did this job to migrate Python from Mercurial to Git and GitHub. 2 years just for the job. Okay? So, but why we choose Git? Firstly, because why we want to use Git? Because it's so boring stuff and I would like to annoy my neighbor. No, just not for that. No, because from the statistics, we have seen that Git is just used for 37% on Hub and 62% on PyP. PyPy, sorry. And in this case, Git is more popular than Mercurial. Okay? Why Git? Who hates GitHub? NSVN? Oh. Okay, I think we will migrate Python to another system. No. Firstly, because GitHub is just really popular and familiar. Well, I like to use GitHub because when you want to contribute to a project, Django, Python, not Python, Django, Flask, or another project, you will find the sources just on GitHub. Okay? We can avoid a custom infrastructure because that was the case for Redfield. There was only one guy for this software. In this case, we use the current infrastructure from GitHub. There is the concept of pull request. There's a review tool. We have an highlighting for the diff, and we can comment the patches. And of course, there is an API. Okay? For the dashboard, for the web interface, we have a dashboard with GitHub. It's a minimalist dashboard, but that's better than the current solution. Okay? For the web interface, we can see the commit, we can see the conversation, and we can review and just explain, okay, your patch is good, but there is a problem with this line. Could you fix it? Okay, I'm going to do that. For the review, and of course, when everything is fine, we can merge it. Okay? About the migration to GitHub. We started the migration in January of the last year, 2016. Firstly, for the PEPs. The PEPs is just the repository where we explain how to improve Python or how to make a release. For the dev guide, who wants to become a contributor? No, nobody? Yeah? No, cool. 1, 2, 3, maybe, you're not sure? Yeah. If you're a guarantor of your wife, no? No? Okay. No, in fact, the dev guide is just the reference if you want to contribute to Python. Why? Because we explain the structure of Python, how to build it, how to test it, how to make a good patch, how to become a core developer of Python. Okay? Just from that, it was really, really easy for us to migrate this repository because there is 5 or 16 contributors. And the last one, just CPython. Since 1 year, we have a version, we have a repository in GitHub. And just 2 years for the migration. After that, we have migrated to GitHub. Now we have the automation. We can use Travis and Observer. Travis is just for the test suite, the performance suite, for the build of the documentation, execute the master branch when there is a new commit, and of course, we didn't have that for the previous version. Now we can execute the branches from the contributors. In a few minutes, you can know if your branch is just accepted or not. We have some bots. For the bots, we have the first one. His name is just the knight who say knee. I don't know why, but okay. This bot will check if you have signed the CLA. Yes, because when you contribute to Python, you will give your right to the PSF to protect Python. I don't know if you remember, but in the past, maybe 10 years, there was a problem, an infringement with the trademark of Python. With that, we'll protect Python. Secondly, we have behavior. This bot will check if a pull request has the right number for the issue, if there is an entry for the next directory, for the news.d directory, and it will play with the labels of a PR, awaiting review, awaiting merge. And the last one is just Mrs. Lincoln. Why Mrs. Lincoln? Because this bot has been made by Marietta, and she was the first female core developer of Python. Maybe she wanted to use a female icon. But in this case, this bot is really useful. Why? When you create a patch, a pull request, for Python.6 or Python.7, and we see there is a problem, not with your patch, but this patch will fix a problem in Python 3.5, or why not in Python 3.4. If we mark the pull request with this label, need backports to x and .i, Mrs. Linton will create the backport automatically. From that, she can merge the backport to the previous version. We don't do anything. With the bots and the automation, we only have this screen where we can see that everything is green. In this case, we can merge. If there is a problem, okay, you need to make some change. With Mrs. Linton, we can see that for sorry, you can follow me with the camera? With Mrs. Linton, she has created a new pull request for 3 versions of Python, 2.7, 3.6, and 3.7. And from that, she will create a new commit in the referenced version of Python, and she will merge the backport. Okay. So, as you can see, the bots are really useful for the core developer. But about the status of the workflow. Oh, sorry. Before, that was this thing. We are a contributor, you have to open an issue, clone the repository, upload the patch. You are a core developer, wait a review of a core dev, download the patch, fix the conflicts, run the test manually, and blah, 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 blah. Just push the change. This process was really long because from the start to the end, a patch can be merged in 1 day or 6 months. It's not really useful for the contributor. You want to contribute because you want to help the community. If your patch is just accepted in 3 months or 6 months, you just bye, sorry. Yeah, that was my case. No. So, with the new workflow, you want to become a contributor of Python. Just open an issue, clone it. Just create a pull request. Just that. From my point of view, or core dev, I'm not a core dev, I'm sorry. From a core dev, I have to review with the contributor the patch, the pull request. Just comment, and we will receive the news directly in the inbox of the mail. We can discuss together about the problem, and we have to wait for the bots, for the feedback from the bots, and from the automation. Can we build the version on Linux, Windows, and macOS? Yes. All the tests pass? Yes. So, if we have a green signal, we can just merge your contribution. And if we need to merge to another version, we can use needs backport to this version. I'm just happy. Yeah, we have the bottle. Oh, come on, please. Okay. So, it's not just for that. The contribution is just with the code, documentation, community, and some other stuff. But I would like to show you that your contribution can be really useful for us. Firstly, from the statistics from February of the last year to this year. Firstly, we have received 6,500 contributions from the community, just for our language. In green, it's just the total. In blue, the total. In gray, from the contributors. And from the green, it's just from the core developer. You are more efficient than the core developer. Okay? Ah, yes. In red, it's just for Mrs. Linton. It's a bot. She works. So we have merged 5,000 pull requests. So from 6,000 to 5,000, I think we do the job. Okay? How long for a merge? 0 day, in the most part. For 2,000 pull requests, we merge the pull request in 0 day. The maximum is just 370 days, but that was just for the documentation. So, okay. Your part. You're a contributor. You represent 96% of the contribution. And for the code developer, only 4%. Okay? For the pull request, just 76% for the pull request, and for the code developer, 24%. So we can see that you are very important for us, for the project. So we have the code, and now we have the documentation. For the documentation, there is a PEP. Why? Why there is a PEP for the documentation? Maybe because we can do something now. But firstly, yes, I can say that we love your pull request. And maybe you can start the first contribution with the Russian or Ukrainian translation of Python. If you're interested, you can do. Because there is a PEP for that. Okay? This PEP will explain how to create a new repository, how to make the translation. If you want to become a code developer just for the documentation, you can become this guy. And we explain everything. So, about the communication. When we have started to communicate, when you want to communicate with the Python developer, that's very difficult because currently we only use the mailing list and ERC. We like ERC. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't be afraid, please. 7, okay. So, if you don't like ERC and mailing list, we use Zulip since 1 month. 1 month. With Zulip, there is an interface, a web interface, an application for your smartphone, and of course you can use it for your desktop, Mac OS, Linux, Windows. So from that, maybe we are ready for the future. Just that. Okay? Yeah, we are proud to announce that we can discuss with you, we will learn from the future, from the errors from the past, and we continue to create the future. It will be hard, but we'll try to do that. Okay, chapter 2, the community. Do you know this sentence? I came for the language and I stay for the community. Do you know? Who is the author of this sentence? Yeah. No, it's not Guido. No, it's not Guido. It's Brett Cannon at PyCon US 2014. I'm going to explain. Who is a newbie in Python? Don't worry, I don't want to tell it. Who is a newbie? Who is an expert? Okay. And the other ones? You don't know, okay. When I was a newbie, that was once upon a time when I was a young developer, I started to use Python. And I was with a guy, just in front of me there was another developer. I'm going to show you Python. What is Python? It's an awesome language. Okay. I came for the language because I started to learn the language. How can I create a Python module? How can I create a class, write a class? I started to learn. With the time, I started to contribute, create some project, contribute to my job. Okay. we can see I increased my level of knowledge about Python. Now, since 20 years, I started to create a new event, Python FOSDEM. A FOSDEM is just a small event. We are 8,000 people in one, for one weekend. And I have a room with some friends, and we organize the Python FOSDEM. It's just a dev room where we talk about Python. So, from the beginning, where I was a newbie, I started to write some libraries, I create a new event, I contribute to EuroPython, maybe I will be a volunteer for PyCon US. I started to write some talks. For example, this year, I just gave 9 talks around the world. 4 in France, 1 here, in Canada, in UK, in Ireland, in Italy, in a lot of countries. I'm a volunteer for EuroPython. I'm a member of some groups, work groups of the PSF, and from the beginning, I just work for the community. And now, I'm just here in front of you to speak about the community. So, I came for the language, I'm staying for you, the community, just that. I think this sentence is really important because you came for the language, and maybe on this evening we will drink a beer with Python. Just that. So, the Python community is respectful, safe, and open. There is a minority here. Maybe for the women? No? In fact, we have to be respectful, just because that's very important. Just that. About the contribution. How to contribute? We have a lot of mailing lists. You can create some meetups. You can create a chapter of the PyLadies or a chapter of the Django Girls. Yeah, of course. There is a sprint day at the PyCon US, PyCon Ukraine. Ergov? No? Oh. If we can. And you can try to organize a PyCon. But who will organize this PyCon, this conference? Firstly, you, because you are in this room. Thank you. Second, me. Because I'm just here in front of you. Okay? And everybody. So, an example. We have some conferences. We are in this conference, PyCon Ukraine. Next week, there will be the PyCon US. And in July, there will be EuroPython. But there's also some other conferences. DjangoCon Europe, PyCon in Czech Republic, PyCon Poland. If you want to go there and present a topic, why not? You will contribute to Python. And of course, you can create a new conference, PyCon Web, PyData. About the Django Girls and the PyLadies. Who is a PyLady? Yes, great. Who want to become a PyLady with her? No? Oh. So, about the PyLady. This organization is very useful for the women because without that, I think the community will only for the men, and I don't like that. I prefer to have the mixity, diversity in a conference. So, but that's really important for us. For the Python Software Foundation, of course, and for everybody, because you have a brain. You can be a woman or just a man. You have a brain. You will share the same thing about Python, and we can discuss about that. PyLadies will help the women with that. We are also the Django Girls. And because I like the Django Girls, there is an event today. Sorry, I can't translate it in English. Sorry. But yesterday, I was in a pub with some friends, and I discovered this event. If you want to help the women with Django, please, I will be maybe I will be there and to help them. And we discuss about Django and Python, of course. But we will start a new, maybe a tutorial, and we will try to help them. Okay. Is there a recipe to become a good contributor? Is there a recipe? No? No. No. Why? When I started to create my own event with some friends, that was in a very small room, just 80 people in one room for one day. So, okay, that's very good, that's bad. We don't know. For the next year, we do the same thing, but we pass from 80% to 200% in the same room. In fact, we have removed all the chairs from the room, and everybody was just without any chair, sorry. I can explain in English. So, but if you try to make an event or just an initiative, a contribution, don't be afraid, because you can fail. It's natural, you can fail. But you try to do this initiative. So, we have the code, we have the documentation, we have the community, and we have the Python Software Foundation. For the PSF is not a company, it's just a group of volunteers, an association, American association, where we discuss about the future of Python, how to promote Python, how to protect Python, and how to increase the community. Just that. For the goal of Python Software Foundation is just the protection of the intellectual property, how to become a member, and about the money. Why? Just because for the money we need for Python. About the intellectual property. You know that when you contribute to Python, we will give your rights to the PSF. Just that. You have to sign a CLA. Okay. Why? Because we need your right to protect Python. Because in the past, there was a problem with a company in England, I believe, not sure, but there was a problem with the trademark. The PSF is just there for that. You can become a member of the PSF. It's just free. You don't need to pay. Good. You can become a basic member. You don't have the vote flag. Sorry. If there is a new member, or if we need your vote, sorry. You can become a supporting member or just contributing. Contributing, for example, you want to create a new event, you will be a member for that. And you can be a fellow if you contribute a lot to Python, maybe 20 hours per month for the PSF. For the money, this cash, come from the PyCon, from the donation, and there is a fundraising if you help the PSF. And from the sponsorship. Yeah, because I don't know, but I didn't see the logo of the PSF. Maybe for the future you can ask for support of the PSF. The PSF can help us. And the money goes just for the PyCons, the other ones, for this one, maybe. For the meetups, for the workshop, for the employees, because we have 3 employees. Yeah, the PyCons is made by 3 persons. Eva, Betsy, and another one, so I'm sorry, I don't remember his name. It's a guy, he managed the infrastructure of Python. And of course, for the infrastructure and the software project, Python, for example. But the PSF is not the Python community. You are a member of this community, okay? So, if you want to help, firstly, think globally. Secondly, you can act locally. You want to contribute to Python. There's a code, there's a community. Now you know what you can do. Of course, you can become a member of the PSF. It's just free. You don't need to pay. Just free. You can create a new community. You can go in your current community. Or you can try to contribute, organize a PyLady, a chapter, mentor to the Django girls, or maybe you can try to code in Python, or I don't know, to PyPy, Flask, Django, Odoo, Request, a lot of libraries for the PyData project with non-focus. You can try to help them, because we need your help, your contribution. So, that was for me, but what can I do for Python? A lot of stuff. I can be here, can take a plane, discuss with you about Python, about the community. I can try to make a new event. You can try to make a new event with some friends in your village or in your city. You can create some meetups. You can try to print some t-shirts with Python in the back. You can try to invite Python in your community, in your company, sorry. You can try to convert a Ruby developer to Python. Or Java developer. Java, we can try, okay? But in fact, you know what you can do. Don't worry if you are not a developer. You will become a developer, a contributor if you help for the documentation, if you translate, if you create a new chapter for the Django girls and for the PyLadies. You can create new meetups around the world if you're in your village and whatever. And don't forget one thing. The contribution is not for you, it's for them, the community. Okay? That's very important. Because this child with a Raspberry Pi, they use Python. You have contributed to Raspberry Pi with Python. For this event, it's maybe a Django girl event. So, oh, there was a very, yes. In English, thank you. In French, merci beaucoup. In Italiano, grazie mille. In Spanish, gracias. But in Ukrainian? Thank you. Do you have some question? No? Oh. No.
Question is, so you basically like show these charts saying like it's not huge time before proposing, submitting a pull request and merging, right?
Yeah.
But what about negative cases? How many pull requests are not accepted? How many of them like hang forever, I don't know, for months and just don't accept it? Did you take into account these pull requests or not?
Not yet. And in fact, I presented this talk in PyCon Canada in November, and I received a very good feedback from the code developer. I remind, I'm not a code developer. I'm just a small contributor. But I would like to contribute to CPython because I would like to learn the language. And I made this talk, the slides about the statistics for this event. The first time I wanted to show how many contributors do we have in the Python community, just for CPython. But no, maybe I can make this slide with the refused, rejected pull request. But normally, maybe 1,000.
Yeah. Okay, I mean, just like from my point of view, the most scary part is that you start working on something and then it's not accepted. Like, you submitted a pull request, you try to push it forward, you try to fix it, but it's rejected. No one like saw it, review it, and it hangs.
For example, in my case, when I create a pull request, and this one is just rejected, sometimes it's just me. I'm going to close this pull request because my solution is good. It's not good. Yeah. And there is another solution, a best solution. I prefer to close my pull request and say, okay, I'm not good.
But if not, what if core developer, like, didn't suggest it a better way. They just say like, hey, you don't like it.
For a code developer, he will read your pull request. If there is a bad thing, he will tell you. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
I don't want to use your pull request because it's just bullshit. No, kidding. No, just, okay, we can use your pull request because it's fine, but maybe at this line there is a problem. Could you fix it? Yes. And usually, when you give this advice, we don't have a feedback from the contributor. I don't know why. Sometimes we can receive a pull request, and where's the contributor? Far, far away. We don't know why.
Yeah.
And sometimes, yeah, and we read the contribution if you have signed the CLA. Without that, we cannot read it. Sorry.
All right. Thank you very much.
Welcome. It's time.